Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Training with Onyx and Sheila. Today is September 6th, our very first training call in September. Holy moly, we're in the last quarter of 2022. And today we have a special day because not only is Miss Onyx on the call, but she is the focus of our call. Good morning, Onyx.
Good morning. I don't know about the focus, but I'm certainly here to serve. So welcome. Thank you, Sheila. Welcome, everyone. I know a lot of people are jumping on planes today, including me. I'm still in Rhode Island. I'm headed back to Florida today. I saw I saw Beamy was in the stairwell. So I know lots of people are jumping on planes. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone for the prayer warriors in this group, for the people who send love and light, lift this whole community up. My sister Carolyn is doing fantastic. Just so you all know, a lot of you have asked, she's jumping on a plane today to California to go to an ozone doctor. So that should tell you how wonderful she is, which is great. Rose and Randy are not 100%, but they're about 90% there. So they're doing much better. So thank you, everyone. Patsy is also, we can see activity again from Patsy. So I know she's still sore. You don't go through a car accident like that and not be sore. So I'm sure she will enjoy the continued love, light, and prayers. And Kelly is still very sore. Poor thing, she fell. You should, the pictures of her face, the poor little love. So she's in a bad way as well. But I know how powerful this group is and how powerful these prayers are. So I thank each one of you for sending your love and light and your good wishes and your prayers to other people in this community, because there's nothing like being lifted up by an amazing group of people that actually cares for each other, which I know this group does. So that's it for that aspect. The quantum field team continues to explode and explode and explode and explode. It's incredible. Each week we're growing and growing and growing by huge numbers. So it's really beautiful to see the growth, because I know with all of that growth, the power of the X39 and how much people's lives are being changed. So I want to thank each one of you for taking a chance and, you know, putting a patch on somebody who maybe is a friend that you know, or maybe a friend that you don't know. You know, I think back to a little over 3 years ago when the chimney sweep took a chance and walked across the street and asked Kathy to lift up her hair and put a patch right on the back of Kathy's neck. And if he hadn't have done that, I don't know if any of us would have been here. So you got to take chances in this business. This is definitely a business of interacting. It's a business of contact sport is what I like to call it. So you definitely need to interact with people in order to be successful. But wow, look at just the power of patching one person. Not only did it shift Kathy's lives, but it shifted all of our lives because the chimney sweep took a chance and walked across the street. So I encourage all of you to continue to take chances. I don't say that anybody is a no on my list. You know, when I first said yes to Kathy, I'll tell you honestly, I sent Steve and Gina some product, along with many other people, including Renita and including Mike and lots of other people that I knew. And not everybody was a yes. There was some yeses. There was some, you know, not now. And so I kept circling around because every day I work the 331 system. Every day I'm contacting people about X39. And so Steve and Gina were on my circle back around list. And so when I circled back around, I had no idea they were actually looking. And I circled back around and finally the window opened and the timing was right for them to be able to hear. And so that's why I love this system. I see it as being so incredibly successful because I see the results in each one of your businesses, and it's a little and a little and a little, and it just compounds over time. So it's incredibly powerful. Now, we are starting on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern, a 90-day run to Aruba. And there's only 100 slots, and it's based on the number of points. So that's not like the SPD trip that you automatically win if you hold the rank of SPD for 6 consecutive weeks. This is different because it's based on points. It's based on the whole company. But nonetheless, we're going to put some serious focus for the next 90 days on helping as many of you rank advance, and hopefully most of you getting onto the Aruba trip, because there's nothing more fun than a free trip in my delusion. I've actually never even been to Aruba, if you can believe it. Even though I'm from that area, I have girlfriends that go there all the time. I just have never gone with them. So I'm sure it will be an amazing trip. So we're going to start that on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern. So you'll be right here on this channel to start with that. And then we'll do it each Saturday for the next 90 days. So that's that. I also wanted to tell you that Lori called the president and asked that I help you all get yourselves moved over to the new pay portal. So I've asked Sheila if she would pull that up so that we can teach everybody how to do this. We've got a brand new pay portal. I believe it's just become live. So you're going to want to get yourself switched over. You're not automatically switched. So Sheila, can I turn the screen over to you, sweetheart?
Yes. And the thing about the pay portal right now is it's still only open live to convention attendees and online attendees. Okay, just so if you're wondering, am I going to be able to do this? You have to wait. Those are the only parameters. Right
I think the actual link is going to open up, if I remember correctly, on Friday. So as soon as I hear from Lori that it's open for everyone, I'll put something on Facebook and on the Quantum, the Quantum Telegram group as well. But here it is. Oh, Sheila, you can go ahead. I'll be quiet. I promise.
Okay. No worries. All right. So setting up your new LifeWave pay portal, you will have received an email from the company. And if you were in the actual convention hall, most of us received it right there and then. And you need to make sure and check that you have this email, and then you're going to click LifeWave Global Wallet account. This tells you here's the LifeWaveGlobalWallet.com for assistance, but all of that is here. And like if the welcome email doesn't appear in your inbox, make sure to check your spam. And then there is a specific iPayout customer service number. Please write that down if you have not got that.
You guys have a telephone, you can pull your telephone out and take a photo of it. Patsy, I believe, has put it onto the Facebook page, so you can find it there as well. So we're trying to populate you guys. Remember, if you're not plugged into us, I can't find you. So you have got to plug into us, and maybe we'll pull that up at the end so that everybody can see where to find that.
And this whole little PDF slideshow that I'm showing you literally came in an email to me yesterday or the day before. So this is a very new email. Grab it if you, if you don't read your email often, please go back and look if you received it. All right, setting it up. Once you click the link provided and log in with your credentials, you'll have the opportunity to watch a brief video. The video was very helpful. I suggest that you watch it, because it's got a lot of parts and pieces to get going in here. After you watch the video, this is the screen that's going to come up, and it tells you specifically, please enter your name and other information as it appears on your legal documents, like a passport or ID card. So if your name is different, if you have people call you something than what is literally on your legal documents, and you put that name in there, it will not recognize you. So please be sure to use the documents and ID that you use with LifeWave and your pay portal already. And verify any pre-populated fields and complete the account information. And what does that mean? That means that they're going to put information in these fields, and you need to read that, make sure the spelling is correct, make sure that they haven't transposed any of your numbers. Entering your social security number. If you don't put this in, you will not get paid. And then clicking all of the agreements, step 3, very important. And you will have different options from the payment options and available currency. Like, do you want it transferred immediately to your bank? Do you want to put it onto a pre-populated card like we already have? You have the ability to determine where and how it's sent to you. And you have to pick 3 different questions. There's multiple different questions. Over here, there's a little down arrow. If you click that arrow, it gives you different questions that you can ask for each one of the 3. So if you don't remember what your first job was, move on to a different question, but they make you put 3 answers in there. I'm going to suggest maybe even writing them down with all of your password information, just so you have that handy. And then the final enrollment screen is giving you the options for, do you want emails? Do you want a text? Do you want both when you receive money? I personally like that, getting notified when I have money coming in. It makes it easier to go in and make new orders and support my downline and stuff. All right, so that is all of it. It's not a lot. It's following the instructions. And if you can follow those instructions, you will have it like gold. And then there's one more. Oops, wrong one. Let me go to my other. Here we go. Here are questions that are frequently asked for this new payment solution. Who is allowed to set up your profile with the new payment solution? Convention attendees and in-person, virtual and in-person are the only ones currently. And then as soon as that, it's called a beta test. As soon as these people are all in the system and it appears that it's flowing, that's when they're going to open it all up to everyone else. And when can members who didn't attend convention build a profile? You will get to build it as soon as they open that area up.
Which I think is Friday.
Right. And the exact date of transition, okay, the 13th, we have to have all of our pay portal built. So if you are currently one of these people that attended virtually or in person, you have until the 13th to set your PayPal portal up. And then on the 22nd is when you're going to start getting deposits into your pay portal. So those are 2 important dates. The 13th, you have to have that whole profile built for yourself. And then the 22nd is when it's going to be starting to be funded. Will I be notified before the official transition date? Yeah, that was what this email was all about that I just received.
Yep.
And will I still get paid through current? Yep, today we're going to be being paid in the regular pay portal that we already have. Are any markets excluded from this rollout? Yes. Japan, and there's 3 markets, and I don't remember the other 2. There's Japan. I'm going to think that they're all over in the Asia area, though. What if I didn't receive the email for my payout with my login credentials? You need to contact them at 866-844-5682. Again, if you were at convention or virtually or live and you did not receive this email, please call 1-866-844-5682. Do I need to worry about sending up any info? No, just your profile and you're good. If I haven't earned commissions, should I still set up my profile? Of course you should, because you want to be earning commissions, right? And as soon as you earn a commission, that's going to roll right into your pay portal, okay? What if I still have a balance in my current payment account at the time of the transition? You can either empty that wallet out, have it all sent over to your bank, or they will put that money and switch it over. What if I'm owed a commission but don't currently have a hyper wallet? Our current payment solution accountant will probably not earn a new commission by the time of the switch to iPayout. So then you'll need to contact the customer service for iPayout so that they'll help you get that set up at that one phone number. And what if I'm owed a commission and will probably earn new commissions by the time of the switch to iPayout but don't currently have a hyper wallet? It will be created for you upon your first commission earned post payout launch. So that is all the screen sharing. And are there questions for Onyx or me about that?
So I would say don't make any phone calls. Don't get worried until Friday. Once Friday comes, if you have not received an email, then I would say you could start to make phone calls. But I would give them a couple more days. We're just coming out of the holiday. I'm sure a lot of people that work at iPayout are on flights as well today.
And then Joanne, you asked, will we be able to sign our new people directly to this pay portal? Not quite yet. You have to wait until it goes live for the entire system to put new people in there. Okay.
Correct. But I would wait because we're talking about a few days. So just if your new person signs up today, just wait till Friday, and so that you're able to just put them straight in, so they're not doing the work twice. What I don't know is how quickly, right now, the way it works, depending on if you all are signed up, let's say you enrolled in the business on Tuesday, the week finishes on Sunday. The following week, we do not get paid for the week the week that we enrolled. That week is for them to figure out if there's been any refunds, anything that's wrong in the calculation of the system, and then we get paid the following Tuesday. In order to get paid that quickly from signing up on a Monday to 2 Tuesdays later, you typically have to put your setup straight away into the old system. I don't know how quick the new system is going to be. My guess is, my prayer is that it will be that quick, so that if you sign up the first day and then you put yourself into the pay system, then you'll be able to be paid. When you get paid, you'll be ready to actually receive money on your first payment. But everyone knows it works out just fine. Even if it takes an extra week, it just means that they hold the money for an extra week, and then it shows up for you then. So it'll be okay either way. So we'll have to see how that one works out. So I would say everybody just relax until Friday. And then on Friday, if you've got new people that you put in this week, I would find out about putting the new people straight into the new pay portal. And then for yourself, if you have not received the email, I would make the phone calls. And as soon as I know, I'll put it up on Facebook and Telegram. All right.
Question?
Yes.
Question. What happens to the original card that we had originally, the card that you can use as an ATM card?
So I didn't hear them answer that. In other words, like, let's say you already have money loaded onto that ATM card. Will that card stay active?
Yes, exactly.
On the back of the card and ask,
Yes.
tell them, since we're transitioning out of this company, does the money stay good for a period of time? It's a great question. Will it be good for 6 months? Will it be good for 1 month? Will it be good for a year? Will it be good until the card's empty? I don't know how it works. So I would call the original company to ask. Right on the back of your credit card with a debit card.
They're advising that you transition that money, so you can actually move it from your card to your bank account.
Okay.
And that way it won't be on your card, and then you'll have all that money, but it just isn't going to be on that debit card. And they are, when you go into the pay portal system and sign up for your profile, they ask you right there, do you want a card or not? So that's part of the upcoming. You can still have a card, but I would suggest moving any funds out of your card into your bank account right now.
Yep, that's perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I see another question about the pay portal. I would wait until Friday to set up one. The question was from David. When would you set up the pay portal if you don't have one? I would wait until Friday, because a few days isn't going to make any difference. Why do this work twice?
And I have an email here, Onyx, that I really want to read real quickly to everybody. And this was sent on September 3rd to me. So if you were convention or virtual, please look in your emails. And it said, let me grab my glasses because it's so tiny. As you heard at Global Convention, we introduced a new and better way to manage your commission payments. Hopefully you've had the chance to set up your new profile, familiarize yourself with this new payment solution by managing the payment options available to you. This is bold-faced and underlined right now. If you haven't yet, please complete the setup process before September 13 to ensure a seamless transition and avoid any interruptions in receiving your payments. Only active accounts will be able to receive earned commissions. We thank you for helping us prepare to officially launch this new payment solution company-wide. Japan, Thailand, and Taiwan are not included at this time. The official transition date is Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. However, it is urgent you set up your profile before the September 13th deadline in order to be paid on time through our new payment process. Current pay portal accounts will be deactivated at the transition date. So if you don't deal with your card, and this goes to what Sandy was asking, there you can't use your card. They're going to deactivate all the pay portal accounts when they turn them over to the other new one.
No problem. Lupita set up a meeting with Rob this AM.
We've got somebody.
Got it. So your early experience setting up your payment profile will be valuable in helping your teams plan for success. As a reminder, you should have received an email directly from iPayout on Saturday, August 20th during Global Convention. Simply locate that email to begin your easy setup process. If you don't see it in your inbox, be sure to check your spam or another email folder. So I believe, based on this information that we have, that new people, they are not going to be able to sign up until they roll this out to the convention attendees. And then this is called the beta test. Once they lock the test, then people that weren't at convention will be able to sign up and put your new people in and all of that.
Okay, fantastic. So I see the mentions, the chats about the video in Spanish. I've asked my girls to double check because they did check startx39.com. All the videos are working fine. So I've asked them now to double check all the Spanish videos are working fine. So let me see what they come to with that. But my girls are masters at this stuff. They've learned so much. It's just incredible to watch them go. So
Onyx, it's not that it doesn't work well, it's that it's a different video.
okay.
It's a total different video talking about how to lose weight. It's not the video that starts in English.
Perfect. Got
The
it.
third videos are different. And I can help translate it at any time you need me. I'm fluent in Spanish.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Sheila. So we've got a change coming. I saw a question there from Kiki about charge. I have not heard that there are any charges. Typically, when corporate sets up these kinds of accounts, corporate pays a charge for every deposit that they make, and we pay a charge nominal, $1 or $2 every time we move money out of the account. So I would expect that you will see that sort of small nominal charge continue to be there, but beyond that, I don't think there'll be much of a charge for setting up this new pay portal.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. I think it's time that we slide into the questions for Miss Onyx. So if you have a question, put your little hand up. Down there under more is where it tells you, I think, maybe not, but there's somewhere that you can push a button and you can raise your hand. You can come on and ask Onyx a question. And I'm going to ask you, it's that time of year. I got to ask you, Onyx, because you open the floor up to any question, right? Tampa Bay or Miami? Which one? Are you going with Tampa?
I grew up in Miami. I have to stay with Miami, even if they may or may not be the best team, because the best Miami team was when I was a little girl, and they've never been close since. But one day, maybe.
Sean Matthews, you're so funny. I was a 40-year Raider fan, and they moved to Vegas, and I said, I'm out. Anyway, who has wonderful questions for Miss Onyx? She is here to answer your questions. I see Sandy Padnos has a hand raised.
Okay. Hi, Sandy.
Hi there. Okay. Going back to the beginning of the call before we started on Pay Portal, you basically kind of casually said, oh, so I circled back to Steve and Gina, and we know so much has happened since then. So Onyx, you know how in Sheila's brilliant 6 questions that we ask everybody, we're always asking people how they manage their contacts.
Yep.
So basically what we're talking about with Steve and Gina here, this is the second 3 of 331. This is the follow-up, right?
Correct. Good.
We understand how you do your original 3. You've been very vocal to us all.
Yep.
Now the second 3. How did you keep your record so that you knew to circle back to Steve and Gina? How do you do that? How do you manage your daily flow?
I used to manage by paper. I now manage on my cell phone. And I find that this phone has now become everything that I need, even though they updated it without my permission and now it doesn't work right. So I can't wait till I get to Miami. Maybe my kids will be able to figure this out because it's driving me bonkers. But I keep it all in my phone, the people that have been in contact with, the people that I need to come back in contact with, and I tend to spread it out. So, I'll come back in 3 weeks, then I'll come back in 6 weeks, then I'll come back in 3 months, then I'll come back in 6 months, if that makes sense. And go ahead.
are you using the app for that? How are you noting to call back in a month or
I put it in,
3 months?
I put it manually into the calendar, into my
Oh
calendar.
my.
I know, but that's
You
me.
make a decision, you just like, you're talking to somebody and
I
you
just
just
make
are,
it-
you just decide right there?
Correct. Now, remember,
Yeah.
I'm the girl who's disciplined, but not structured. So
Yeah.
I'm disciplined every day in how much water I drink. I disciplined every day in that I will do exercise, which is 9 times out of 10 hot yoga. But some days I'll go lift weights. Most days I'll go for a big walk. But some days I go in the morning, some days I go at night. So I allow myself that freedom while I also have the discipline. I'm disciplined that every day I do 3-3-1, every single day. So this is what works for me. And I know that I'm not like most people. Remember, I'm also dyslexic. So one of the things I think that's so great about being 56 is you finally figure out who you are and you figure out what works for you. And you don't have to apologize for, you know what, this is who I am. And it's okay. I get to be me and you get to be you. And we're all great because we are who we are. And so my systems will change as things change, or as I notice something new, a new distinction about myself, or I notice something will work, I think might work better with the way I am. It's the same thing with exercising. You know, through my whole life, I've always exercised, but I've never said it has to be this. You know, it started out with cheerleading and then drill team, and then it was step classes, and then it was lifting weights, and then it was trainers, and then it was, you know, tennis, and then it was sitting in the infrared sauna, and then it was hot yoga, and then it was, and walking. And so my whole thing is, so long as I'm evolving, I don't have to stay stuck. As long as I'm disciplined, I don't have to stay stuck. And that's for me. Now, there's some of you that are really, really great at running a schedule, and that discipline makes your life work. Even when I had kids, you all, you know, my sisters, a lot of them, two of them had kids, and they would put their kids in bed every day at the same time for a nap. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's them running my life. That's not going to work for me. I can't do that. So I had to find a way. My kids had a nap every day. Absolutely. But it wasn't always in the bed. Sometimes it was in the car. Sometimes it was in blah, blah, blah. So it's what's worked for me. So it's the same thing with reading books. I'm dyslexic. And so I remember when I was in my early 30s, my whole thing about if I went on vacation and I got to read a book, I had a great vacation. And that was as far as I could get. So maybe I got to read 2 books a year, but I was still reading 2 books a year. And then it moved to, wow, I could read a book a month. Wow, I could read a book a week. And it just kept evolving. And now I can listen to books. It's incredible how much information you can take in now. But again, everything keeps evolving. And I evolved onto an iPad. And I tried that because I was traveling around the world 4 and 5 times a year. You can't bring 6 or 8, you can, but it's impossible. It's heavy to bring 6 or 8 books with you. So, you know, Anthony would say to me, Onyx, get yourself an iPad. I finally did. And I started reading books on there, and I'm like, this sucks. And everyone's like, why? And I said, because I'm dyslexic. So when I get to the last page, I want to close the book and have the satisfaction that I completed the book. I don't get that in the iPad. So know thyself. Whatever it is, it's perfect. And for me, I allow myself to change and evolve. So nobody for me is a no, never. They're not always for me. And so I'm not the least bit worked up that not everybody is sponsored by me. I shared X39 with Renita. She wasn't meant for me. She was meant to be sponsored by Steve and Gina. I'm perfectly okay with that. I was meant to warm her up. I was meant to talk to her, but she was meant to stay yes in the business with Steve and Gina. And that works fine for me. And that's just one example. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens of people like that. I'm not attached to the yes. I'm attached to me doing the 3-3-1. And if I do the 3-3-1, I'm a success. Whether I get a yes or a no, I've succeeded in my discipline. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Great question, Sandy. I'm still wrapping my brain around this though, Onyx. You literally take your phone, go
Yeah.
to calendar,
And
and
I pick out 6 weeks, or I put out 3 months, or I put out and I just send a little ding reminder, and it reminds me. Now, sometimes, you know, my dyslexic brain, sometimes I'll be at a movie and I'll see something, I'll be like, oh, I forgot to call that friend who's a realtor, and or my banker calls me. I'm like, oh, I forgot this other banker. And so I'm constantly getting jogged with other people that I haven't contacted yet. And I have a list of the people that I'm still contacting, which is in my phone, as well as the people that I'm circling back around. So I don't think anyone is a no never. I think time and circumstances changes everything for everyone. And so your goal is to hit them when the window opens and they can hear what you have to say. Steve and Gina weren't ready to hear what I have to say. I was invited to Gina's 60th birthday party, and I drove all the way up there. It was, you know, it's like an hour and 45 minutes north of me. And I drove up there. I had X39 in the car. I walked in. I know most of the people at their party. Okay. I said nothing. I walked around. I listened. I paid attention to what everyone was doing. I said nothing. I didn't bring out one patch, not one patch. If they asked me what I was doing, I said, oh, I'm just doing this stem cell activation patch. And I walked on. I didn't give anybody data. And so when I called Steve and Gina a couple days later, I said to them, because they said to me, I said, what are you all doing? And they said, we're going to do real estate. And I was like, real estate? Are you kidding me? You know, that's not your gift. It doesn't mean you can't learn it, but it's not your gift. And I called and I said, what are you guys doing? And they said, what do you mean? And I said, you've got ice melting on the pavement. And they said, what do you mean? And I said, you've got blue diamond after 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 blue diamond. They're all sitting at your birthday party, and they're not building an organization because they're waiting for you. What are you doing? You got ice melting on the pavement. So that's all I said. And guess what they had to do? They had to digest it. They had to think about it. And they called me back and they're like, Onyx? I said, yes. They're like, you're right. It is melting on the pavement. I said, yes. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's talk about X39. And so I started to explain. Let me show you the system. Let me show you what's set up. Let me show you the success that's already here. Well, we want something that our people can win at. Well, my people are winning. Why can't your people win? Right? And so away it goes. And so I'm dancing. It's exactly what I teach you all. I'm dancing. And so I went to the party prepared to share X39 with everyone, because I thought everyone was going to be like, Onyx, where have you been? We haven't seen you in 7 or 8 years. And they were. But it wasn't the time for me to share. It was the time for me to listen. Does that make sense? So I danced. I had what I needed, but it wasn't time. The window wasn't open yet.
Beautiful. And that just goes to show that even the most experienced network marketer can step back and wait patiently. And I think that Onyx is part of some of us, because we love so many people so deeply and we see their conditions, we want them to do it now, but they're not ready to do it now. And
that's one of the hardest lessons in life. And to me, I don't think that lesson is only related to network marketing. I think it's related to every aspect of your life. And it's really, really hard to watch your girlfriend who's making the wrong decision and the window is closed. She is not listening to you. She does not want to hear what you have to say. And your opportunity is to learn to love her, even though her window is currently closed, waiting for a chance for the window to open. In life, you gotta wanna, just like in network marketing, you gotta wanna. If you wanna go after your health, you gotta wanna. You know, it's an every day I wake up and I drink water. Every day I wake up and I exercise. Every day I go to bed between 9 and 11. I know that sounds crazy, but there's a lot of days I'm in bed at 9, and it's okay. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. I understand what that sleep is doing for my health. So I choose that for me. Each day you all get an opportunity to choose something for you. Every day I put on an X39 patch. Some days I put on 2. Some days I put on 3. Depends on the day. So what are you choosing for yourself? What do you want in your life? Because life is all about what you want.
Beautiful. Well said. Okay, we have a question here from, it just says the letter J. So I
Okay.
don't know who it is. What is the greatest award / reward you have received besides motherhood?
Wow. So I was busy building my Monavie business, and I was traveling around the world 4 and 5 times a year. And my children were, at this point, Sierra was 13. So Neve probably was 9 or 10, and Sage was probably 16. And I had just earned a $300,000 check, an award check, because I had rank advanced. It was a big deal. It was a lot of work to get to that point. And so I was flying to St. Louis in order to present at the convention that was happening and to receive the check. And Sierra, my middle daughter, who was 13 at the time, said to me, "Mom, I want to come see you get the check." I was like, "You do?" And she said, "Yes, I do." Now, this is the same daughter who said to me, "Why can't you be the kind of mom that's sitting at home with cookies every day when I get off the school bus?" And I said to her, "I'm so sorry, sweetheart, that's not the mother that you picked." I have work out in the world. It doesn't mean that I don't love you and that I won't make you cookies from time to time, but I won't be home every day to make you cookies. And so my daughter, Sierra, came with me as she asked to. And right before, you guys think that the big deal was the check. Who cares? It's just money. That's energy. Right before I walked on stage, my daughter gave me the most beautiful letter I've ever received. And there's, you guys can probably find it if you look for it. It was a YouTube video. And it warmed my heart in the most amazing way. She literally passed it to me as I'm walking out on stage. The music is blaring. I'm walking out on stage and I'm like on stage crying. And so, of course, I read the letter, and it solidified for me as a young mother the choice that I was making to juggle both business and a family. And I have 3 amazing daughters that all came out fantastic, you all, even though I built this huge business. And it showed me that she saw it, that she understood. Finally, the girl that wanted me to be at home making the chocolate chip cookies saw it. And it solidified for me that I'd done okay. Life was okay. That's probably the best award that I've ever received. What a beautiful question.
That is magnificent.
Bring tears to my eyes.
And now here, a follow-up. When was the last time you made your girls chocolate chip cookies? You better go make them some.
So lately they don't get chocolate chip cookies. They get what I call fat bombs, which have no sugar in them, and they're cookies, but they're not.
No, no, we've been doing a lot of cheesy bread.
Oh, we have been doing a lot of cheesy bread. Yes, we've got a recipe for gluten-free cheesy bread that all of us enjoy. My sister Carolyn taught it to us, and so Neve and Sierra make it all the time. It's delicious. It's like
So yummy.
Pop-up cheesy bread. Now
Wow.
everybody's going to ask for the recipe, Neve. You're going to have to put it on
Neve,
Facebook.
yep, you need to go put that in the group, please, Neve. Okay, here's a question from Maria Bernardis, pardon me, Maria. Can you offer a tip of wording regarding sending an email to people who have joined your email list and you would like to introduce them to X39? This is a first contact on X39. Thanks. And P.S. I don't have their phone numbers. So these are just people that have joined her email asking to be on her newsletter list.
So whenever you're contacting somebody, I always believe, even if it's first contact, less is more. So I'm not using the words like LifeWave. I'm not using the words like X39. I don't want them to Google. I don't want them to have a predetermined concept of what it might or might not be. And what I'm trying to do is get them to come back to me. So you're looking for different words that are electric for them. It might be about health. It might be about community. It might be about a way to make money. It might be about the fact that we're in huge inflation right now. And, I mean, my Sierra went to the grocery store for one person. She called me. She's like, Mom, it was $300. You know, how is this even possible now? And so that's one person at the grocery store. Imagine if you're two, you know, a husband and wife. Imagine if you're three, you've got one kid still at home. So you've got to figure out what that charge is for them. You want to put some of that in there. And then the most important thing I find is the call to action. So if you want more information, do blank. Okay. Now you might decide that you're going to go straight for the startx39.com website to give them the data, because you know there's no place for them to go order and then say, you know, come back here. Or you might decide you want them to come to you first. And you might say, text me at this number, or you might say, respond to the email. Now, remember, the emails typically take 48 hours to open. So a lot of them get thrown out. A lot of them are ending up in spam these days. There's all the email companies have got new programs set up to throw a lot of them into spam. So it's not the strongest way to contact. So don't be disappointed if you don't get overrun. But that's what I'd be thinking about. What is the charge to get them to pay attention? And what is my call to action? And since it's your email list, you don't have to know. You could say, this time I'm going to go after community. And here's my call to action. Next time I'm going to go after a stem cell. Are you interested in activating your stem cell? Here's my call to action. Next time I'm going to go after, are you trying to figure out a way to make money at home? And here's the call to action. And then you go back and you analyze what worked. Did this call to action work better than this call to action? Did this little charge about community work better? Or did it work better to leave with a stem cell activation patch? Did it work better to talk about frequency? You know, Maria, you've got very advanced people typically that are attached to you. So you're probably able to have a higher health conversation than other people who have email lists. So again, depends on your group. So you don't have to know exact. I always like to try. So I also wouldn't send it to the whole group. Let's say you've got 100 people. I'd probably send it to 30 and then 30 and then 30 and then look and see what I've got. And then I might send the whole group based on what I figured out. This is the best call to action. This is the best little thing that's going to get them excited. And remember, that's just for this group. In another 6 months, it could be completely different, you all. It changes constantly. What people are interested in changes constantly.
Love that. You're just, my mind's turning.
Good.
Okay, Mina from Florida, Philomena Vitali, can you unmute and ask Onyx your question?
Hi, hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. And so I and my husband are very, very new to the business. We signed up on Saturday.
Welcome.
Thank you. And I was born in South Africa, Johannesburg. My parents are Italian. I have a lot of family in Italy, a lot of family in South Africa and friends there. And I've been living in Florida for the last 11 years. So I have quite a big circle of friends and business partners here too. But I'm looking at, everybody needs the product. And I know that I think the business is in South Africa and it's also in Italy, places like Greece and things like that. How does one actually build? I have no idea if I can build international business or is it a whole separate business? Are they kind of connected? How does that work?
So it's a great question. So everybody that you put in your business ends up either in your right leg or your left leg.
Oh, okay.
Because you're brand new to the business, I recommend you only build 2 legs, which means everybody should go to your outside right or everybody should go to your outside left. It does not matter whether they're in this country or another country, they still are in your business. It's seamless. That's one of the cool things about network marketing. So you physically could put people in Italy in the business, and somebody above you could put somebody below even you and your person in Italy who's in Australia in the business. You don't even have to know them, and you all will make points, which points equals money, off of people you know or don't know. So it's really cool. Now, in terms of building business internationally, I have a lot of experience with this, and I will tell you it's difficult to do if you've got somebody who's never had network marketing experience. The reason that is you have to have somebody in the market that speaks the language, that is leading the organization. Doesn't mean it can't be done. It doesn't mean that they can't invite their friends and family, but if they want to build like to a senior presidential director, typically you've got to have somebody that's got some experience there, because you've got to have somebody that's going to be able to lead the group. Right now, the two sites that we have, startx39.com and the QF Team Biz, are in English and Spanish on the Start and X39, and the other one is English. We're working on figuring out if we can get Google Translate put onto these sites, because I know I've got team growing in Israel, I've got team growing in Portugal, I've got team growing in Sweden, I've got team growing in Australia, I've got team growing in Japan. So we're already starting to reach into these international markets, but that's what I mean. For our organization to be able to, translate and help them, it takes more work. So that's why typically I find it's better if you've got somebody who's had experience to open those markets. But your friends and family can go in, no problem at all, and they absolutely can make money, no problem at all. Does that mean that they can't do it without ever having network marketing experience? No, they certainly can. It just means that they're going to have more obstacles to overcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I appreciate that. Thank you so
Good.
much.
My pleasure.
Question, Onyx.
Sure.
The 331 in a foreign market, if you don't have somebody who can do that for you in whichever country you're in, what do you suggest?
So my experience in building in international markets is I would come to the markets, like I would go to Malaysia. I went to Korea, South Korea 4 times. I've been to Malaysia probably 5 times. I've been to Singapore probably 5 times. I've been to India 5 times. I've been all over Europe. I've been all over Mexico. I've built organizations in these and many, many, many other markets. But what I would do is I would go to those markets and shut my mouth. So I would go there to support the leaders in those markets. They know what works in their markets. I would show them what we're doing successfully here in the United States. But the truth is, just because 331 is successful here doesn't mean it will be received in the same way as Japan. It might be received better, who knows? But I've learned that the leaders in their markets know what works for their markets. So I don't presume just because what I'm doing here in the United States is going to work in their markets. I like to follow them.
So you do nothing with a foreign market unless you have a contact in that country, in that market that you can work with.
For me, yes, because let's think about what I said last week on the call. United States of America just overtook Japan. So last 4 weeks in August, we were #1. We overtook Japan. My guess, and I don't have the exact numbers, we probably did $11 million in the United States. Hi, Miss Patsy. We probably did $11 million in the United States last month. That's the United States, you all, $11 million. That is nothing. We're nowhere. So for me, I understand to take low-hanging fruit first. And it was the same thing when I started this business. I picked up the phone. I called my friends and my family that I knew would say yes to me. And I said, hey, this is a shot in the dark, but I think I found something. And it's got a 30-day money-back guarantee. I don't even have the product in my hand, but my friend Kathy had this great testimonial. Are you in? And there were some people that you can call up and they say, yes, I'm in. And so I put those people in first. It's the same thing with building in the US market. This market is worth more than $1 billion annually on its own. Y'all, maybe we did 11 million last month. That's a lot. I'm not being disrespectful in any way. I'm saying the opportunity is like this. It's huge. So when I started, I think some of you all saw my video, which I've been requested to redo it, which I will, and even I've talked about that, why I picked LifeWave and X39. And one of the things I talk about is that I like to have a company that's in the beginning of momentum. And my favorite spot, my sweet spot, is between that $50 and $100 million. Well, let's really break this down, you all. Last month, we did 25 million for the month. But what did we really do in the United States of America? Maybe 11 million. So maybe for the month, for the year, we'll finish right at 100 million. We're at that sweet spot. We're at the very spot, because typically network marketing companies are open in one country, the United States. So our numbers look different because we're legally open in about 75 countries. So what Steve and Gina were telling you yesterday, last week is exactly correct. It is, the opportunity is right now. The momentum has begun. The momentum in the United States has begun. It's time to put on your sneakers if they haven't been on. So this is what I'm looking for. This is what we've all been here creating to get to the place where the United States overtook the international markets. Okay, so now do I want to get on a plane and fly to Malaysia, which I have nothing wrong with Malaysia. I love Malaysia. I love the Malaysian people. Or do I want to stay right here and take over the United States market? Onyx likes to work smart. So I would rather take over the United States market. Doesn't mean that I won't make a trip to Japan or to Korea or to, whatever, Europe or another market if needed. But I recognize the biggest opportunity, the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest opportunity to get is right here. It's in your neighborhood. It's in your neighborhood. And you all want to go all over the world? Okay, I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But I'm saying that's a lot harder than walking out your front door and looking to the left and looking to the right and look at all the people that you can sign into your business that you can do 331 with. So that's the way I do business.
Onyx, that
Yes,
is sweet and fine. I will ask Sheila. She's on an island, just like I am.
Mm-hmm.
On my island, there are 100,000 people on a good day. Where do you start if you don't start abroad?
I live on an island too. And on my island, I don't think we have 100,000 people on it either. But there are
you don't live
than
on an island. You live in the United States, of which the island is a part of.
Yes, 100%. But I still live on an island in the United States.
Me too. Hawaii is part of the US.
A little further away.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you both. I am by myself in the middle of the Caribbean. That's a different story.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So please give us lone people some nuggets.
On how to build in the international market, I would still be building locally. I would be the person who is in charge of doing the weekly meetings or bringing people over to your home to the Zoom so that you can plug into the weekly opportunity meetings and you're putting the Zoom on your TV and people are coming to your house. I would still be doing it locally. You've got 100,000 people in your local market to build. It doesn't mean that you can't go internationally. I'm not saying no. I'm saying in order for it to really take off, you've got to have somebody who wants to do it and who understands how to do it. And it is more work. Building an international business is more work. It doesn't mean it can't be done. It means they got to want it. They got to want it. And the people who have had network marketing experiences in international markets and had success, they want it. They already understand. They know what it looks like. They know what network marketing can be for them. And so they're willing to do the work that it takes to get a new country off the ground, if it's a new country.
Okay, wonderful. At age 83 and not being able to travel, that gives you a little bit of a challenge, I do believe. So I am saying what I am saying just to make those on this call aware of what they have in their back pocket, which they are not using.
Yep, which is their neighbors to the left and their neighbors to the right. It's the town you all live in, you all.
That's right.
The town you all live in is ripe for you to start patching.
And Sandy, I just want to throw this in real quick because you asked that question to me. We moved here and 8 months after we moved here, we were totally locked down where they wouldn't let you go to the grocery store. The cops were stopping you on the street. If you didn't have a good reason, you were escorted back home on Maui. Okay. And so I ended up eventually, I didn't know anybody. It's true. And Kathleen, she's so funny because she likes to get out and meet people, but that's not me. I'm a homebody. So how did I start doing it? I literally got involved in the local Maui swap meet, which is more like an artisan festival. And I've been doing part of my booth is LifeWave and the rest is my dragon eggs. And this week, Kathleen, I just bought a second booth right behind me, and we are having a booth just strictly dedicated to LifeWave X39. And we are meeting people local because the locals come to the swap meet. We are meeting people internationally. I have people that I'm working with in Canada right now because they got patched at the swap meet by me. So you have to start looking at other ideas. You could, and I don't know that there are senior centers there, but what if you ended up going and playing bingo at the senior center, and then all of a sudden you have all these friends that say, oh my God, Sandy, you look so much younger. What are you doing? So my advice is to think out of the box, because we have all been boxed. For the last 2 years, we've been put into a box, but it's time to be the jack in the box. Open it up, jump out, and spread your joy in any way that you can figure it out.
Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
we
honey.
are just
David,
about at 1 o'clock. Do you want to take one more question, Ms.
yeah,
Sheila?
David had his hand up, so let's do him, and then we can close it down. Dave?
Okay, thank you. What's your advice for those in the states that network marketing is pioneering?
So
That's not there. It's not widely accepted.
in a state where network marketing is not widely accepted? Are you saying you live in a state where network marketing is not accepted?
Not widely accepted. Yeah, it's been put down. Yeah,
Well, every state's been put down. What state are you in, David?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, so the Northeast, in my experience, tends to be more skeptical. I don't
Absolutely.
think that means that there aren't successful people in network marketing in the Northeast. There absolutely are. And in fact, I've had many in my organization. There's probably quite a few on this call. It's definitely different in the Northeast because they do tend to be skeptical. So what? You're working on your dance. You're still working on your dance. It doesn't mean that in the Northeast that they're healthier than they are in the rest of the world. In fact, it's one of the worst areas to live with all of the 5G, et cetera, that's gone through there. So people in the Northeast may actually be more needy in terms of health. And so maybe part of your dance, David, is not to talk so much about the business or the community, but more just about let's activate your stem cells. And don't get into any of the rest of it. Let's bring you in as a customer and put them into the business as a customer and go there. And then once they fall in love, say, hey, there's also an opportunity for you to be able to make some money on this if you'd like. If you're happy to just stay as a customer, stay as a customer. Okay.
Okay, I know Montana's closed because you patched everybody there. So.
Not yet. I patched everybody me and the girls came in contact with for sure, but it's still wide open. Okay, so before we close, I want to remind everybody, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are doing the weekly opportunity meeting, which will be with myself and Steve and Gina. It will be 100% Zoom this week. So you're welcome to come on. You're welcome to bring your friends on. Whatever works for you is fantastic. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. The following Wednesday night, we're going to do the opportunity meeting again, but it'll be live in Jupiter as well as a Zoom. So Sierra and I are going to try and attend, I think, the Jupiter meeting if we can. So we'll see how timing goes in regards to that, but that'll be at 8 p.m. as well. So you want to pencil that. On Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern, we're going to start with the 90-day run to Aruba, the training for that. So you all are welcome to plug in and join us. Again, if for any reason you can't get on one of these calls live, it's no problem. You just go to the Onyx Coale Facebook page. It says Onyx Coale Network Marketing. It's a YouTube page. You subscribe there and all the videos. My daughters are putting up all the videos there. So we've got one place that's easy for everybody to find everything. If you're not currently connected to us, I cannot connect to you. You have to connect to us. You can go to the QF Team Biz site, and in there, there's a section to connect with us on the Telegram group. There's a section to connect with us on the Facebook group, and then also on the YouTube channel. So those are the places for you all to plug in. Once you all are plugged in, you'll see there's all kinds of things for you and for your team members to join us in. So I hope everybody's had a fantastic.
Wait, Onyx, can I make an announcement?
Sure.
Yeah, tomorrow night is David at 9 p.m. talking about glutathione.
Okay.
So everybody needs to definitely tune in. There won't be a podcast that we normally do. So get everybody on that.
Perfect. So you all will receive an email with the link. Thank you, Bimi. You all receive an email with your link for the David webinar, which will be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So at 8 p.m. you can join the opportunity call. If you want to learn about the glutathione patch, you can join with David at 9 p.m. Remember, in building business, I recommend that you focus 100% on the X39. Confused people do nothing. Don't spend your time trying to figure out what patches other people need. X39 helps with all issues. I recommend everybody gives X39 at least a 90-day trial so that you're able to see the difference that it makes in your body, because people typically they notice the absence of something. It's really fascinating. It's not that they feel something, they notice something is gone. So, which is amazing. The power of X39. It's an amazing, amazing patch. All right. I know we've run way over. Patsy, it was really great to see you on here. I'm glad that you're feeling a little bit better, at least good enough to jump on. Thank you for all that you do for us. Sheila, thank you so much for all that you do for us. Thank you, all of my prayer warriors and my love and light workers that have sent prayers and surrounded the people in this beautiful organization with love and light and lifted them up. I honor and I appreciate each one of you. Thank you for being part of this organization with all of us. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic day. God bless.
Have a great day, everyone. And if you know anybody in the islands, in the Hawaiian Islands, October 8th, we are having a LifeWave event. Send messages and have them come over here to Maui and meet me and tell me happy birthday.
Exactly. Happy birthday. All right. Bye, honey.
Bye-bye.
Everybody have a great day.
Great day, everyone. Mahalo.